even if you don't use our other services.
Daytime, everyone. Our next guest is an educator and author who has been actively involved in education for more than 40 years. His experiences range from teaching in public and private elementary schools to working with adults in both educational and industrial environments. He's authored several books on education, has conducted seminars for parents, teachers, and others involved in educational activities, and he still actively dedicates his life to improving the quality of education worldwide. Please welcome the author of How to Grow a Child, Bernard Percy. Good to see you, Bernard. How are you?
Thank you, Dave. I'm doing great. Thank you.
What a wonderful book for parents to read. And I say that because the book is written by children that you taught. And it all started how?
I had a 9-year-old in my 4th grade class, an inner city girl, Ann Arthur. She came up to me one day and said, "You know, Mr. Percy, I'm working on a project." "Well, tell me about it, Ann." So I think it's about time that adults heard from children how to raise children, not just other adults. And she showed me her manuscript. I look at the manuscript, and the first line I read was, "Look into your child, and you shall see your reflection." That moment changed my life. I said, "Ann, we're going to get this published." And with Ann's agreement, I did a workshop with Ann and 5 other students, and that was the start of that book.
And this was back in 1974. So this is kind of the second generation, or the republication of the book.
It was originally published in 1978. Now, 31 years later, I'm still in close communication with 3 of the 6 students, including Ann, who, by the way, is now a pediatric ophthalmologist.
Wow.
And so it's the story of our long-time, 35-plus-year relationship. It's also their viewpoint now that they're adults and parents. What do they think about the advice they gave as kids? And then it's the original book with upgraded illustration and presentation of the material.
And what I like about it is that the sayings and the quotes from the children are accompanied by faces of children, which makes you really empathize and think about what's going through this child's mind as this thought might cross through their mind. We have some pictures surrounding us here, including the pictures of the original authors of the book, which is amazing that you still stay in touch with them after all these years. And I think as a parent, watching my children grow, and now that I'm an empty nester, I look back at some of the things, as we all do, and we go, wow, why didn't I put myself more in that frame of mind? And I think it's important when you're reading this book is that you keep in mind one of the most important things that these children had to say was, hey, I'm a person too. I have thoughts too. My thoughts are important, and you need to ask me. They may be wrong, or you may think them wrong, but include me.
That was great. Thank you for that. That's exactly why I not wrote the book, I actually helped create the book. I produced it with my students. And the idea of the book is for 2. There are 2 publics for the book, one of parents, and it's exactly what you said. You have to really understand the reality, the viewpoint, the real world of your child. By understanding that, then you know how to deal with that. And the other public, this is for teachers. Now, what's your purpose and role as a teacher? And for me, I always wanted to help children understand they can make a difference in the world right now. Their voice, their viewpoint is important. And that's the legacy they'll carry forward with them throughout their lives. So you really have duplicated what my intention was. We are brothers. Thank you,
good.
Dave.
I'm glad to hear that. The other thing that I think is important is that when you have to put yourself in your child's shoes, and you have to remember what you thought as a child. When you remember back to your childhood, how did you feel under a certain circumstance, and empathize?
So we so often forget that, you know. There's one of the lines in the book is, many people look down on children, and it's not because we're short either. You know?
Exactly.
It's that kind of pithy, quick comment that really points out a real truth.
I agree, and I had marked a page in here, and I want to read just the one quote here, and it kind of sums it up. The children are people, and they should be treated as people. Children have feelings. We want respect, too. If adults expect us to respect them, then respect us, too. After all, we are people.
That's right.
And the book is full of similar quotes just like that, and wonderful faces of wonderful children, and the story of how the book came together so many years ago. And I'm so glad you've republished it and made it available for parents and children and educators alike today.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you for your perceptions. They are spot on.
All right, you can go to Daytime Online, folks, to get more information about Bernard's book. We're going to thank Bernard Percy, sir, very much. Once again, very inspirational book for parents, teachers, and everybody out there. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Cindy, over to you.